Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Amethyst Dream Witch, and today I'm going to be doing a book review. Now, this is what I'm going to be reviewing. This is The Real Witch's Kitchen by Kate West, and it's full of all sorts. So it's not just food recipes, there's also spells and oils and there's all sorts of things in this. But I really like it because it's all focused around the kitchen, things you can do in the kitchen and make and see tangible results with. I really like dipping into this because it's really easily laid out, so you don't even get the introduction until after the contents page. And that's it. There's 11 chapters, not including the introduction and some further information, terms and definitions. But it's all really good stuff because it explains witchcraft and bringing in the herbal side of things, and it while chapter 2 says guidelines for buying, using and storing herbs and plants, you can follow your own lead. Follow your own heart and intuition as to what feels right. It gives ideas on what you can make with soaps and then oils and lotions and potions, and I've forgotten about that one. So oils to soften the skin. And it gives you, it does say that the recipes are designed to be used with 3 tablespoons of cream, lotion or a base oil, and to choose one which is unscented or carries very little perfume, which also suits your skin and budget. So there's some really good stuff because they've given Esbat oils, so that's for any full moon rituals or spell work. You've got Sabbat oil, so with the Wheel of the Year celebrations, Samhain, Yule, and all the rest. There's a goddess one, even a god one to give that duality, divination, a banishing oil, a wealth oil. There's quite a few actually. And then you've got the application of them and how you can use them. It's really well presented, and although it can look like that's a lot of information, it presents it in such a way that, one, you don't feel stupid, and two, if you've got questions, they will be answered. So it's got even anointing a candle or some other object using an oil burner, and this is still just all in the oils, lotions and potions. And then we've got candles and incense, because if you're gonna make a candle, you'd do it in the kitchen nowadays, because that's where everything that's where we do everything. Perhaps not using the same utensils as we would when preparing food, but it would still be in the kitchen. It gives ideas and colour associations and scent association. So if you want a particular smell, you've got that as well. You've even got suggestions for the zodiac and ideas for incenses. And again, these can be general. These could be ideas for what you could do yourself. there's all the different Wheel of the Year celebrations have their own incense, so you could make one for each celebration to remind you of that time or to burn and celebrate. And then it moves into the feasting around the Wheel of the Year with the 8 festivals, the 8 Sabbats, and it gives some. It gives recipes. It also gives ideas of foods that you could eat at different times, and it does go into. So it goes through all of the celebrations. Sorry, my brain couldn't compute. And then it gives breads, cakes and biscuits to honour deities, a simple bread. It really does give recipes. So that's just your whole wheat bread. And it gives the recipe presented nicely, so you're not it's not too, it doesn't sound too complicated. There's a chocolate brownie recipe, you've got cakes, ideas of cakes. My favourite chapter though, I will come back to, although there's not many after this, but you've got brews and teas, so you've got your potions, potions, the ones that you would drink. It's got recipes for that. And again, these are all things that we'd make in the kitchen. They're not things that we do anywhere else. Like it gives the physical and magical properties of common herbs when infused. And there's a bit of a list. And it gives some of the slightly more, slightly less well-known, slightly less popular things to use. So elderflower alleviates colds and headaches, induces sleep, associated with protection, healing and prosperity. So it does split the two. So you've got the physical properties, so like the medicinal properties, and then the magical ones. But there's a few lists. There's a small section on tea leaf reading and how to do it. I knew I had a thing where it said that. There's even a how to brew things. It goes into like splitting the nutrition down, so bring the elements into it. Although you could argue that most food comes from the earth, so there's already a deep earth association. But it's also like the what's the word? How we can live how a witch could live a more magical life just through foods and their diet. But not just that, but also with how we look. So there's like different ideas for what we can do to look and feel good. For dry skin, greasy skin, for spots and our feet, and hands, and smells. So perfumes even. We've got that. There's even herbs, sachets, and gifts. So things we could give out or use for make and give to people for whatever. focus and study. Floral decorations, so you've got a flower. There's a section on flowers and pressing them and drying them, and the language of flowers and what some of them can be associated with. So obviously rose is on there. Roses on there. The language of roses is quite complex, but for example, white means I am worthy of you, while red means love, and red and white mean unity. Like there's lavender, silence, peace. There's all sorts. Uses for dried or pressed plants, using them with a magical journal or a book of shadows, a sacred space, making a frame for a housewarming picture, or a general frame for a gift for a friend, or making a memorial bookmark. So yeah, there's all of that, but my favourite section is this one. Soups and foods to strengthen and heal, because there's so many, and it's, you know, because if you ask someone what they would eat if they're not feeling well and they just want something to make them feel better, each of us will have a different answer. So one of my favourite things was a chicken and sweet corn egg drop soup from my local takeaway. I don't have it anymore because it doesn't fit into my lifestyle anymore. However, I do have a recipe that I have yet to use, I have yet to try, which I will at some point, that could be handy and, you know, something to maybe make every once in a while and just stick it all in the freezer so that I can take a portion out when I feel I need it. See, there's a basic soup stock, potato and onion soup. So it's chicken stock, chopped potatoes, chopped onions, and a bit of parsley, and that's it. But then you've got your heartier soups. You've got a sweet corn chowder. There's a chili soup. Then you've got your clear soups, French onion soup, cream of cheddar, spicy mushroom, a chilled soup, even a cucumber, just potatoes. Sorry, that's in the other dishes. Carrot, orange, and coriander. I used to like carrot and coriander soup, but again, I haven't had it in a while, so you know, but it does give the properties of some foods. So I know I've done a video a couple of weeks ago, posted a video about the associations of some foods. Well, here's a bit more, because it's this lovely section, and it's got things like asparagus, carrot, chocolate, coriander, garlic, onion, parsley, potato, rosemary, sage, spinach, and thyme. And then it's got foods of love. So there's and it gives ideas of what you could make for promoting love within your life. So there's that. And romantic recipes. You got garlic soup, avocado prawn, scampi in love, champagne scallops, hot chicken salad, mini pies, and all sorts. There's even herb jellies, vinegars, and oil. So if you want to really go all out, you can do. This is part of my kitchen library. I have my books split in two places. So most of my reference books, spell books, info books will be in my main library near my desk. anything kitchen related will go in my, anything that is predominantly kitchen related will go in my kitchen library, and this is one of them. I was gifted this, so I didn't buy it technically, but it's an option. It's an idea for something to have just for when you fancy making things. So there's that. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've been intrigued by my little dive into the Real Witch's Kitchen by Kate West. It's a great book, I will say that. If you like the sound of it, feel free to acquire it, and I'll see you again soon for another book review. Stay safe, everyone, and blessings to you all.